taking you through, how will I put it? A guide taking you through a road that you don't know, but the guide knows, and the guide is telling you go left, go right, go this because you want to reach a goal. So what we're going to learn um, to understand the director's role, how to develop vision and voice, scripts and scene analysis, then practical directing tools. There are tools that will help you as a director. So let's start quickly with the introduction. What is movie directing? Movie directing is the process of interpreting a script and transforming it into a visual and emotional experience for an audience. Interpret a script, transform it into visual and emotional experience for an audience. What the director controls. The director controls performance, visual storytelling, pacing, and atmosphere, emotional tone, overall cinematic experience. So these are the things the director controls. Now, the script alone just tells you what happens. The script alone just tells you what happens. Now, the director determines how the audience should experience what the script has was written or the write up on the script. That is why most people say that the film is the director's film, right? The film is the director's film. Many people have argued that fact, but if you type, you see that it is well accepted that the film is the director's film because he has the overall vision of the story. Now, directing is an act, right? An art, in the fact, not an act, ACT, an art where you paint and draw things. So yes, so the director is the person that paints the picture and gives it the final say. Now, it's not just when somebody puts up the camera and then it looks good on the camera and then you just film it. No, it's an act of shaping the emotion of those persons, the increasing of the intention and the audience experiences, right? Now, through your cinematic choices, through the way you place your composition, through everything. Now, all this come together to form the director's art or picture. You will hear me say a lot of words like art, pictures, and all that. I just needed to understand that I'm just trying to let you think of the director as a painter who has a canvas and is painting. Now, the role of the director. The director, they say, is the head of the creative. Director is the head of the creative. Yeah. So The director oversees the creative interpretation of the film from development to final edit, ensuring all creative elements support one unified vision, his vision. Now, the cinematographers must shape the visual language of the film to fit his vision. The actors will be guided through their emotions, through their voice, composition, to truthfully perform and express themselves in order to that the director wants it to go. And finally, sound design, which is also key. With sound design, you make sure that the persons producing the music, persons producing um, the person producing the music for the sound design would do it according to the emotion, would do it according to the direction of the director. That is one thing that everybody needs to do. Everybody. So everybody on set, whether they like it or not, needs to work to achieve the director's vision. So it is not a place. Um, it's not a place where how will I put this? People come to show off. I'm a badass cinematographer. No, 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 no. However bad you are, you have to be malleable to be able to match up with the vision of the director. Now I want to say something again. I was filming somewhere currently. I don't know. It might be a little bit noisy. Sorry about that. I just took an excuse and went out. So as the director on this set, I noticed something the scriptwriter does. We get on set, we realize that the set does not really fit the story, but the set is looking nice, right? So based on that, um, whenever I get to a place, I read the script, I try to analyze it and see what it is, and then it turns out that oh yeah, we cannot do this, cannot do this. Let's do this. And the scriptwriter is insisting that we must do this, and I asked the person, okay, now come and stand here. Let me see you achieve that. And then she now starts asking me, so how do you think we can achieve it? I say no. I have already thought about it. The question is, how would you achieve it? How would you achieve it? You understand? And she stayed there for some time. And then she turned down and said, and now I see the problem. Now I see the problem. I said, now you see the difference between you and I. You wrote a story, you gave it to me, but you should learn to trust me to deliver it. I am standing here. I've read your story. I know the challenges of your story. And I try to bring out um, things close to what your story looks like so that I'll still give you the same thing based on what you have on ground. So unless you want to go and start building the set, I will suspend the scene and wait for you to be done. And then the producer was not like, I beg, let's use this set. This set is okay. Director, make it work. So because all the money is in the hand of the producer. So if the producer cannot do magic by building a new set, voila, something has to give up for the other to work. So responsibilities of the director, pre-production. Like I was just talking now, he's supposed to study the script, identify the theme of the story, identify the emotions, emotional arc, and the cinematic opportunities. What that means is that some of you write stories that your um, the emotional arc will go up, come down, go up, come down, go up, come down. It's not a bad thing to take people up and bring them down, but it's a bad thing when there's no reason why they should go up and then you take them up, and there's no reason why they should stay down and then you take them up. So if you want,
Mr. Coming, sir.
so if you want um your emotions to be strong, you have to be able to take them up as much as you can, keep them there, and it's like you're suffocating them, they can't breathe. And then you give them a breather. And when you give them a breather, let the breather be another one that will still take them up again. You know? So based on that, people are like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So every point of the film, they're like, and then you develop your visual style. You know, when I was teaching cinematography, I told you there are different styles. Yeah. Some people are they call them the commercial people. Those are the ones that everything is shining, wow, bright as ever. So you need to know how to do this. Then you need to rehearse with the actors and then collaborate with all heads of department. So you could do it via phone, via all that, and all that. So you need to do a lot of collaborations. You need to do a lot of work to make it happen. Okay. However, while you're producing the film, your job's different. You're supposed to direct the performances of the actors. You're supposed to supervise the camera. So it's better you employ somebody who is very good at the camera and then you supervise it. And then you see what they are doing and ensure that what they are doing is cool and fits your style of shooting. And then you make sure that they are there when you're blocking your actors. Somebody has asked me, what does blocking mean? Blocking just simply means directing the actors. Excuse me. For example, you want to tell the actors, sit here for some time. When you get to this point, you stand up, walk to this other point, talk for some time, you pour yourself a glass of wine, and then you turn around and drink it. So the cinematographer knows that it's going to pan up, it's going to tilt to the left, and remain there. So all this camera movement, he knows already, and is waiting for you, and is waiting for you. So control pacing and tone. I usually tell people that to me when I'm doing a film, it's like music in my head. So I know how it's going in my head. I know how the music is playing in my head. Yeah. So you're controlling. That's what is controlling the pacing and the tone. So if you want the tone to be comedy, make it comedy from the beginning. If it's a mixed tone, you should know when to put it appropriately. Then solve problems. Ensure that scene supports the story emotionally, even under pressure. There are sometimes producers because they just want to increase the length of a film, they begin to let's add this scene, let's add this scene. Meanwhile, those scenes don't even add or remove anything to the story. Now, post production responsibilities. Now, the director will have to work closely with the editor to select the best performances and takes to shape the final film. If you leave the editor alone, the editor can just pick anything he wants and just put it there. So if you don't sit by the editor, some editors are quite lazy. They'll just pick up anything. They'll just pick up anything and then um just throw it in the screen and say they want to use that and edit. And then you, the director, will not be like, ah no, I remember that I said this shot is not good. There's another shot I like better. And then you go back and you check it. Some editors will tell you, I didn't see any other shot, only this one. You have to insist and go back. Then when you go back, you will now see that right shot that is there. Um, the reason why you sit down beside the editor is so that the music that is playing in your head while you were shooting the film, the rhythm of the story still continues, and everything goes well. The grading fits your color tone, and then your vision is actualized. Not that your vision is actualized. Now, director is the creative leader. I said that when I started. As the creative leader, now the director does not just control people. They, they help you bring out your locked energy. Inside each and every one of us, there's an energy inside. So we try to bring it out. Now, a director is an artist and a leader. He collaborates with you, communicates with you clearly, and brings all the departments together in order to bring about the story and the vision of the story. What makes a good director? Emotional intelligence. You must understand fear, love, shame, guilt, and vulnerability. Communication, he communicates clearly to every department, to the actors, to everything. Creative problem solving. What that means is that it solves problem, time, budget, and logistical challenges. Sometimes you hear people telling you that we couldn't achieve this, we couldn't achieve this. And then just tell the director, he will think of how he can make that work even with the shortest period of time. But don't force him to do what is unethical or not by the book. Now, the director must have a taste as an artist. Because you cannot say you want to be an artist and you let anything go. Shoot it anyhow should never be your language, okay? Now, when I say someone should understand emotion, you may be shooting a film and then there's fear. Some actors don't know how to use their facial expressions, which is very bad. Yeah, sometimes you work with new actors, of course. So that actor is supposed to have done a lot of practice to at least understand different facial expression. But where they did not do that, the director also needs to do that or understand it so that when they come on set, you can actually say, oh, no, no, I don't think that's the face I want to see. I think this other face is what I should see. Then they should understand love and loneliness. They should understand shame and vulnerability, ambition and conflict, decision making and leadership. As a director, you make a lot of decisions now. Why decision making matters is because all these facets are different. For example, the creative facet is there and it's doing what it's doing, right? We're trying to create a film creatively. Production aspect is there. They're trying to manage funds and all that. And then we get to a house and there's something crucial that needs to be there. The director needs to be able to talk to the continuity and say, what's up? What do you think? How can we do this? And then we'll come up with an idea and say, okay, let's solve the problem with this. And imagine where the second solution is not available. Then the production has to rally around to go and get it. And time will be going, but I don't know why it should not be there. So you're meant to make sure that the morale on set is high, respect is on set, people collaborate respectfully, the environment is safe, teamwork, and the actors are performing well. Now, they made a quote there. They say, good directing is often intentional restraint. Sometimes I think actors do too much. Actors do too much. You want to cry, they will use their hand and be covering their face and all that. The director is able the director is able to tell you, oh no, cool down and say, this is what you should do, but don't do it like this. Just relax and get it up to this extent. All right. Now, knowing what to do is as important as knowing how to do it. Okay? Because you cannot just say you know what to do and then you cannot, you're just doing it anyhow. And then you're just doing it anyhow. Okay? So you need to know what to do and how to do it so that you'll be able to.
Really?
So it's a very bad thing as a director if you do not read your script before coming on set. That is very bad. You should have read your script before coming on set. Why? Because you read the script and draw the emotional arc. You draw the emotional arc. You know scenes that are supposed to be very cinematic. Then you know where conflict should come in, where psychology should come in, and then you know how you want the audience to perceive and receive your the experience you're giving. The reason why you read the script also is so that you would have known the message of the story and know how to use proper tones to achieve the themes and all that that ought to be done. Now, the director's vision. Now, director's vision is the overall visual and philosophical interpretation of the story. What does that mean? That means when when you watch a film, any film you have watched, go back and look for the director. That just shows you how the director wanted you to feel at all times. That just shows how the director intended that the audience or the people doing that should feel. Okay, so that's what that scene means. Mm. So the components of a director's vision. The the director would have the emotional vision, the visual vision, performance vision, rhythmic vision. So if these visions are not well arranged, so now the philosophical vision of a director is now let's say for example, greed destroys morality, right? So that's what the director wants to show in everything that's happening. So we're trying to see how the greed begins to affect morality inside, and eating inside, and everything is going. Now, there's usually when you, as a director, when they employ you, they'll give you a script and tell you to write your director statement. So you develop a statement to show what your vision is all about. to show what your vision is all about, to show what you want to do. So you could just say, I want to achieve this, right? So this is what I want to achieve. This is what I intend to achieve. You understand? You will not just wake up and just say, no, you want to shoot a film on your in your head. That your vision will be shared to all your crew members, actors, everybody, and all of them will get to know that, oh yeah, this is what director is planning to do. Of course, there's philosophy, the director's philosophy and his voice. Now, what do I believe about human nature? What should cinema do? Should films entertain, challenge, or heal? Now, if that's why you have some people say films are either entertainment, inspirational, uh, uh, religious, however you believe, your philosophy. So if you're a religious person, everybody will see it in your film. It will show in your film. It will show in your style of uh, or your style of directing. Okay. Now the voice is you're supposed to have a unique voice. So when you're talking, there's a unique voice that needs to be put in, and everybody needs to understand it. Now, ethics and responsibility. Now, as a director, you're supposed to have ethics and responsibility. What does that mean? You influence certain things. It is good for you as a director to go do your research. It is very wrong for you to just carry film. I'm sure some of you have watched your film. Some of you will be shouting, how, how, how. You understand? So when you're shouting how, that means you've seen something in the film that your mind is like telling you, what the hell? This is impossible. What is happening? This is impossible. You get. So the way you represent your story, the way you create the trauma, the emotional manipulation, make it believable. Don't do something that some I know those Indian films may be sci-fi, but the next thing you see, they will fly from three-story building, and next thing, boom, they're standing on bed, and bed will carry them somewhere. So, except you're doing a sci-fi movie, please, if you're doing a home movie, like let's say the project we'll do at the end of this, maybe one of the actors will jump on top bed and then fly. Then I'll ask you, fly to where? Then I'll ask you, how can a bed carry such a person? You get? So these are the things you need to understand, right? So story understanding, script breakdown and analysis. The director does his own script breakdown and analysis, yeah, but not like the way the AD, the PM, or the continuity does theirs. The director's own is emotional breakdown where he could put some pluses, plus one, minus one, plus two, minus two. Usually, I think minus two is the highest, and then they have zero. So plus two means very angry, plus one means a kind of heated argument. Zero is normal conversation. Minus one is when he's cold. Minus two is when he's very lonely, sad, depressed, and all that. So there's a way you do all those markings and arrange all those things. Now, with that, you can exactly tell of what your project should look like and how the character should flow and all these things. If not, it will just be a flat story, very flat story. Now, questions you should ask: what is this story truly about? Right? What is this story about? What does the character want? Understand? What stands in the character's way? Can silence communicate meaning? So you see all these things. You need to be able to answer it or not answer it, but create that question in the heart of your people so that they will be wanting to see the answer. Maybe it will not be in the first part, it will not be in the second part. Then you create more questions to come in from the second part too. Understand? So want is external, need is internal. So, so when you're talking about want, that's money, revenge, power, success, escape. That is what is outside that is coming to internal healing, forgiveness, correction, self-worth, honesty. So these are the things that need to fix and work with him. So the emotional spine and scene purpose simply is when you analyze a story, it's just like a spine, just like you draw the spine at your back, right? At each junction, you can just be right. You see that the right scene, this scene, that scene, this. From scene one to scene two, we have plus plus two. That means that place is very heated. From scene two to scene three, plus one. From this is minus one. This back to. So you see the analysis, and you use that and create the emotional spine of how it goes up, comes down. Now, five-layer script reading method: emotional, character, team, cinematic, and technical. Tech people always avoid the technical part. Like I always tell people, you're gonna write how you a story building is exploded, and you don't have now. Thank God we have AI. But then, let's say you don't have AI or you don't have a graphics person or CGI person that will actually get that same building and then blow it up. How do you intend to achieve that? So technically, you need to start thinking of what you need to do to make sure that doesn't work or works. Now, when you're reading, you focus for technical, you look at the emotion, locations, props and sets, costumes, scheduling, um, uh, logistics, um, um, sometimes flight delays and all that. So in technical, that is where you end. For the others, I've spoken about it before. So you just good now judging whether a story is filmable or not. As a director, you should be able to watch a story and say, "Oh yeah, I think it's relatable." So the universal emotional connection comes first for me. It's the highest. It must connect. People must connect with your story. Then there must be escalation. Definitely, there must be visual possibilities. Maybe where you will have one scene where when everybody gets to that scene, everybody's just smiling and feeling happy. Then we must have strong emotional conflict. You understand, and character transformation. So all these must be in your story. All right. So yeah, we've talked about this emotional connection and the audience, the ability to make your audience feel what you're doing, right? So we should make your actors vulnerable and sometimes let them feel it. So yes, I've talked about the script, the spine, or the mind map using the spinal cord method. You understand the emotional beat. I always play with film with music in my head, and then I make sure the conflict rhymes to the music, and then the scene objective is key. You shortlist. We've talked about shortlist, storyboard, and all that. You use this to also help your vision. All right, to also help your vision. I have told you how to break down the script like the director. Yours is not the same thing, right? Yours is not the same thing. Now, when you're breaking down the script, you get your character. You define who your character is. The director is key about characters. They tell him who he is, what they're supposed to do, their challenges. This is like their character bible, yeah. This is like their character bible. So, um, so when these are different scenes, right? Now, like the I told you earlier, now beneath the comedy, there's an emotional truth, and then there's a cinematic quality. What that means is that yes, everybody's laughing, but there's a truth that has been told, a little bit of inspirational or educational, and then we're able to film in a not so seen location, a location that everybody really doesn't or haven't seen. And the emotional spine, like I said, you begin to draw it. You know how to grow with it. Sometimes laughing, even as you're laughing, sometimes you'll be sad, like Hide the guests from the landlord. Stop living in fear. Now, this is the need. This is the internal. Why the external is fear of exposure and embarrassment. Landlord is coming. All right. So the theme and tone is comedic, is awkward, suspenseful, chaotic, possible themes, fear creates chaos, assumptions create misunderstanding, secret, hmm, excuse me, secrets create increase embarrassment. Now, high emotional impact. Thank you, Shala. High emotional impact moment. Now, the knock, the hiding, the wardrobe, the shaking, Bola falls out, the final twist. Now, the way a director will shoot this sometimes. Funny enough, I wanted to use one of Shola's short stories that I saw on her TikTok. It's TikTok or Instagram, I can't remember. I saw it. I said when I see her, I've not been around. Maybe when I see her, I would let her know, let her know what the some you should have shot it in a separate way. It would have heightened the tension more. Yeah. So you don't just shoot to answer that you're shot. Hide information. Hide information. I was telling somebody that I shot a rape scene and nobody saw the rape. The only thing people saw is a lady coming to the. Let me give an example of a film. There's one film, black and white. Mine was simple. I just saw the girl's face, and then my hand was on her neck, and I was just pushing her back and forth with my hand and my neck. The camera was tight on her face, and we could just see her tears. The only thing you see is her head moving up and down, up and down, up and down, a little bit of my hand that was on her neck. So that was it. There's no way you tell me you won't understand what I am doing. So at first, everybody was like, no, why will you show? I say, see, if you waste time and start showing the progression from removing of cloth to doing this, to doing that, to doing that, you've killed the temple. Your audience now are trying to think of whether they should sit back and get ready to watch porn or something. The story is about racism. That is not my own story, the black and white one. What are you showing that? Immediately you see the girl coming, forming intelligent and all. The next thing the white man wanted to show her that you are beneath me. And then the next thing we saw, he just pulled her down to the table. And the next thing they went to the light. And we could just hear her voice where she's crying, not even mourning. So my own, I tried to copy that same type of act. She came to beg. I was the one acting the character. I came to beg me for uh, so that she will pass and become a mother. And then I smiled. And then the next day she's on my bed. Boom. So you don't need sometimes to elongate certain things because you want to shoot 2 hours film. No, shorter the better, the punchier the better, right? So um, shortly we talk about storyboard exercise. We know that. So now I would like you on your own using that script, create a director's uh, vision, or let me call it director's statement. I need you to send a script and a director's statement to be in your when you log in and you go through the course, you would see it, write your director's statement, and you see how it will help. Then, of course, I try telling people that no, it's not all films that you should shoot. Ask yourself why are we shooting this film? Why? It may be something you like, but send it to somebody and say, bro, help me check this story. Don't poison their mind. Don't tell them you like it. This in this part of the world, so many people just want to tell you it's good because you like it. They don't want to kill your dream. But don't tell him it is you. I hope you know sometimes when you don't tell them it is you, the truth comes out faster. Just tell them, Baba, I beg, let me check this story. What do you think about it? They ask you, now you write them. Say, no, no. Now one of my guy, I don't me I just they think. I don't know whether I make a shoot them or not. Oh God, what you hear, your ear will fool. But that is the blunt truth. You see them tell you, I think the script lacks strength, lacks this, and you'll be your head good. In fact, some of you script writers are so emotional that you want to beat the person. But I'm telling you that is the truth. When they do that to you, the next thing you need to do is go back to the drawing board and make that script a more powerful script. Okay? Are there any questions? Are there any questions? Please just do well and ask in the chat box. Are there any questions? Any question? Hello? Hello? So I don't know if they can hear me, but if there's no question, I think then we can call it a day. Because with this now, I think you can go ahead and try directing your film and do that. When next we meet, we would move into practical directing because I would like to have you guys direct. Okay. I think I just got one question now. Uh, Can an actor put in more intimate action to buckle up and act if the director didn't seek for such? Okay, I think, I don't know, when they taught you acting, I think the first thing you should know is as an actor, you have a lot of work to put in. You need to also read your character, interpret your character's role, and interpret the story. So that immediately they call action, you do what you know is the best for you to do. It is left for the director to watch it and say, can you tone down a little bit? Or can you add this and this and this to that? And then you say, good. And then you push it and you get it. Is that okay? Did you get that? Emmanuel, did you get that? Hello? All right. So if there's no other question, I think we'll call it a day. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time. All right.
Please give some appreciate the anchor of the second for today's class. If you have questions, you can ask me your questions in the chat box. Please, if you have questions, ask me your questions. So I'm gonna spend some time here to wait for your questions.
Hello, ma.
Hello.
Yes, I was the person that was speaking with you before the class started.
Okay. Okay.
Mm.
Did you Okay, you've tried the using the other URL I gave you, right?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so we are looking into it, right?
Yes.
And I sent you a message. I'll get back to you.
Okay.
All right, so I'll get back to you.
Thank you.
Please, if you have other questions, ask your questions. Okay.
Thank you, David. Okay, nice. This is my conversation. This was correct. Class. Okay, I'm sure it's on this one. This wouldn't well. Bah, oui, les gars, il fait les 4:34.